I hope you're all hanging in there. I just did a really neat, just a 15-minute live on the Love and Light tier on Patreon. And I wanted to share a little bit of what I learned from that with all of you, because right now we're all going through a massive thing. Our whole collective is going through a massive thing. I'm even going through a massive thing. Even if I'm kind of distant or staying separate from all the news and the media, and it keeps me kind of like in this neutral, happy place, I'm also going through my own thing in my own world, okay? So some of the interesting kind of visions that have been coming to me, which I need time to process it, because one thing, here I have this message this day, and then this message comes next month, and then next year it's a totally new scene, you know? So energy is constantly shifting. And it's hard to keep up with it. So just staying in the now, how do you stay in the now? Just let go of trying to make sense of the future. Because did you know coronavirus was going to happen? Could you even plan for that? Do you even know it's going to happen 6 months from now? You can't plan for the future. Right now, things are just, don't even try to plan for the future. If you're going to try to plan for the future, don't project yourself into the future. Okay, by June of 2021, I should have this going on in my life, as long as everything stays the same. Which means you don't want to change, and you want everything to stay the same. And you're projecting yourself into a future where everything stays the same. That doesn't work. So any dreams that you have in the future, you need to bring all that stuff into yourself right now, okay? Just bring it into this present now. This is what I want to get out of my life. So if that happens by June of 2021, or I'm not putting a date on it. I'm not even going to try to figure out what's going to happen tomorrow. Did you know these riots were going to happen? Did you know this was going to happen? Like, we can't tell what's going to happen next. So stop trying. So there's this major, massive ascension process going on. There's always an ascension process going on. Will always be an ascension process. The human race. So I had drawn this this wonderful image of time, okay? And I want to explain it a little bit. I feel like it's really important that I get this understanding out there to as many people as I can. Not everybody's going to be on Patreon. Patreon is an opportunity for us to connect live. And so that's what I'm doing right now. But I also want to make sure I'm getting messages out just to the public on YouTube, because everybody matters, okay? I love everybody. So I just want to thank you all for just being in my world, all right? Whether you're on YouTube or Patreon, just thank you, okay? So I wanted to show you this. So I'm human. Time is a complex thing. Okay, so this is time. Right here, this line is what you could say, let's just say this is 1 million years of Earth history. This is a version of the human race. 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 They're all technically separate versions. However, this is all one line. So all these versions are on top of each other, okay? Now time goes downward, time goes upward. There's no beginning and there's no end, because it's always going, it's always sort of rebirthing itself over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. So the human race is still trying to figure out how to work with love, all right? One of the powerful messages that came to me, which I shared in a video recently, was me having to accept that it's not for me to decide what's best for the human race. I would think what's best for the human race is for us to come to peace with our inner chaos and to find the light and the love within, which is our truth. But it's not for me to decide what's best for every single soul, because not every single soul is ready for that. I'm ready for that. Maybe you're ready for that. We're all ready for that on different levels, and we have to be at peace with this. That's hard for me, because ascension is us conquering our mind, our ego, and the chaos within. It's ascending above that, right? So if we're not ready to ascend above that, when will we ever be ready to ascend above that? Have to let go of time. Have to let go of what I want and what I think the world should be ready for right now. Have to let go of it. All right? Mother Earth lets go of it. Mother Earth has different versions of herself too. Like, we have a higher self, totally divine, understands the bigger picture, super awesome. Then we have other versions of ourself at many different dimensions, just like this. all squinched into one, okay? But we have many different versions of ourselves, and at different levels of conscious enlightenment. And one of those versions, which, like, what is a soul really? I, Abby, am like bajillion versions of my own consciousness inside myself. That's why we have these internal battles. I want to do this. Well, I want to do that. Well, I'm afraid of this. Well, I'm afraid of that. That's because you have a collective consciousness inside of you as well. Are you one soul? Are you just a lot of stuff going on, you know? So, man, I talk so much and so fast sometimes I lose my place and my thoughts. Okay. So Mother Earth, yeah, she has many different parts of herself. So there's going to be Mother Earth that's feeling the pain and of the breakdown of herself, of her body, the destruction. We can't say that that's not happening because it is happening. And we know it's happening. How do we stop it? So many of us don't even know how to get through each and every day. So how are we going to help the world? If there isn't a movement to help the planet, then us trying to do it as individual people is just not realistic. Like, if there's going to be a movement to riot and destroy businesses and other people's lives, why aren't we freaking going nuts and putting all this energy into, it's time to save the planet now? All right. So Mother Earth has her different versions of expression. And this higher self, Mother Earth, was super awesome. Like, pure love. And her heart was so bright and so beautiful, and reminding us to be our true light, our true love. If we don't know what is going to happen tomorrow, if we feel like we are lost in the chaos of today, she said there's an ascension process going on here. And so we're actually moving to a different density. So when we're moving to a different density, which has been happening throughout our history and throughout time, we're constantly moving to a different density. Time is overlapping and all right, anyway. But that's a part of what this is about. It's okay if you feel like you've lost your identity. It's okay if you feel like I don't want to live on this earth and the human race is going into a decline. All of that stuff is okay. It's okay to feel lost in the chaos because it's hard right now. But encouraging us to find the light within, because that's us being our true self. So if we don't know how to be, if we don't know how to cope, if we don't know how to just figure this out right now, or what to even make of the future of the human race, just stay true to the light within yourself. That was the major message that came, was staying true to the light within yourself. What was also interesting, this was talking about the Mandela Effect, which I'm not necessarily a firm believer in the Mandela Effect, but I'm not. All right. I believe everything is absolutely 110,000% possible. But she was showing me that we're doing one of these right now. Like, this is all one. This all scrunches together as one, but it's also all these multidimensional versions of Earth going on at the same time. But we've gone through these rebirths so many times that there's versions of Earth where we can't access the history of that version. We'll never actually know the history of that version of Earth because it's disappeared. We've actually moved into other physical versions of Earth that don't have access to that information anymore because to us it's disappeared. That's going to happen still in our lifetime, where it's like things are disappearing. That's what she said. I'm not like a huge Mandela Effect person, but that message was loud and clear, which I thought was interesting. So maybe there's history that we haven't even accessed to just let go. I mean, this is one of the big things that's come to me as well, is messages about the human race having made a decision. Like a decision, our collective has made a decision, and I don't know what time it means anymore. I don't even know what human ascension means anymore, because it's almost like we're going through a downfall, like a destructive point, which usually when we go down, we're also simultaneously going up. It's like people who are vulnerable to Mercury retrograde, where we feel like we're walking backwards, but we're really moving like forward 10 steps ahead. You know, it's all an illusion, okay? But it's part of the process. And Mother Earth, her higher self spirit, was so beautiful, encouraging us to just be bright and in the love that we are. So I hope this message helps. Thank you for watching. I'm just doing what I'm inspired to do next, and I'm living in the now as much as I can. I'm trying not to overthink or think too much about this. I've gotten so many different messages that, you know, when it comes to spiritual messages, like messages from our guides or aliens and stuff like this, our vulnerabilities can have a hard time translating the meaning of some of this stuff. So I just choose to process it for as it is. If I struggle with that message, I just let myself struggle with it because I need to let loose those vulnerabilities. But I try to just be at peace with everything as best as I can. But if I need to feel the struggle, I'll feel the struggle. I'm here to be human, not a robot. I have emotions. You do too. So we are here to feel. To be in the best balance, to be true to our true selves is to be the light from within, okay? I hope this message helps. Thank you for watching. If you want to join Patreon, I'll put information in the description. If you want to work with me one-on-one in a psychic session, come visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. Have a great day, everybody.